Sam Valentino, private toon detective here. I thought I'd talk about how I did a little investigating in something, only partly cartoon related. An upcoming live-action Amazon and MGM original series, Spider-Man Noir, featuring one of the alternate universes in Sony Pictures' popular SpiderVerse film franchise, which of course is adapted from the Marvel alternate universe franchises. Originally debuting in the Spider-Man Noir spin-off comic book, Spider-Man Noir comes from a universe set in 1930s New York City, complete with being in black and white, known as being Earth 90214. This version of Spider-Man, aka hard-boiled detective Peter Parker, came to be when he was investigating a smuggling ring, only to be bitten by a venomous spider coming from a freaky spider god idol. When Parker awakens, he now possesses spider-like superhuman abilities, just like the main Spider-Man, and he takes on the masked vigilante identity of Spider-Man to avenge the deaths of his Uncle Ben Parker and his mentor Ben Urich, working to defeat the major crime lord Norman Osborn, who, spoiler alert, served as the original Green Goblin in most takes on the Spider-Man franchise. This noir Spider-Man, however, uses a lot of brutal and lethal force against his enemies, like a hard-boiled pistol-packing private detective would. He made his screen debut in the 2018 Oscar-winning animated movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where he was voiced by Nicolas Cage, who will be reprising the role for the Spider-Noir series. But it's worth mentioning that in addition to Cage basing his character on Humphrey Bogart in his film roles a la the Maltese Falcon and Casablanca, along with the voices of tough character actors like James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson, Nicolas Cage also drew a bit of inspiration for his portrayal of the Spider-Man Noir character from Bugs Bunny. According to Cage, he said in an interview that this character was 70% Bogart and 30% Bugs Bunny. I was basically Mel Blanc doing Bogart with that sarcastic sense of humor, but it's 100% me. And he also adds that as the Noir Spider-Man, I'm a spider trying to cosplay as a human. Yeah, good way of putting it, since anthropomorphic toon animals like Bugs Bunny and myself could be kind of described that way. In more ways than one. It's also interesting how in some cases, Bugs Bunny could be tough, sometimes acting like a mobster or like a detective in order to defeat his foes. Then there was the bridging material for the Unmentionables act in Friz Freeling's Loony Bugs Bunny movie from 1981, in which Bugs Bunny worked as a secret agent trying to bring Rocky and Muggsy and the other gangsters to justice. And at one point he dons a trench coat and fedora in his own office like a private detective might have. Surprisingly, they didn't include that bit from the original 1963 Unmentionables cartoon with Bugs wearing the same outfit, probably for timing, as they also inserted him into Rocky's Capers from Golden Yeggs and Catty Cornered to make it look like he's involved in bringing the mobsters to justice, to which he gets a little out of character at one point.
Is there anything we can get for you, old chap?
Hey, calling someone old chap is my bit when I speak, not that rabbit's. Hey, it was the 80s, when Warner Brothers Animation just reopened after 11 years of being dormant. Almost like a continuation of the Seven Arts era of all the classic characters, and with Friz Freeling at the helm for a few years. Then of course there was the 1995 Looney Tunes short Carrot Blanca, which, as the name implies, is a spoof of the 1942 Humphrey Bogart classic Casablanca, with Bugs in the role of Rick Blaine, Bogart's character in the film. Bugs looks good in that white tuxedo shirt. And of course he goes for the old trench coat and fedora look at the end too, just like Bogart did. But I've gathered it's moments like those why Nicolas Cage is partly inspired by Bugs Bunny in his performance as Spider-Man Noir, alongside the obvious choice of Humphrey Bogart and at least a couple other such noir actors. In 1993, there was even to be a video game for the Commodore 64 that actually came on a digital cassette tape, as the old C64 computers could actually read from those. A dated practice by 1993, no less. Titled Bugs Bunny Private Eye, it ended up not getting finished due to the developers going under. And what did get made doesn't seem to involve any detective work. Jeez, talk about false advertising. And he's played detective in a few comic books as well. But that pretty much blows the lid off this caper, showing why Bugs Bunny could possibly influence Nicolas Cage's portrayal as Spider-Man Noir in both the Spider-Verse movies and an upcoming live-action series coming to Amazon Plus and MGM. But anyways, the Looney Tunes have bigger concerns right now that I'll fill you in on once the facts have been straightened out. So keep watching this channel to hear.